Alright, gang, welcome back to our Triple Threat Challenge here on Zabby. It is July, and July means it is harvesting day, and we've got a lot to do as far as harvesting goes here in July. Will we get it all done today? Unlikely. We'll probably have 2 episodes here in July just to make sure we are accomplishing this goal here, but we're starting off here with our spelt field, our very large spelt field. Then we've got the field directly to the left over there, and then one of the fields way over there that you can't really see anymore because the silos are in the way in the distance as well to sell. A couple other things. There's this in the used market. Don't really like this. Obviously, we're utilizing it in the one-tile challenge. Speaking of that, it should be back this Saturday. We do apologize for the last week, once again, missing that, but like I said, life gets in the way sometimes, and it just didn't work out for us to get a recording done. So, but we should be doing one tonight, and yeah, as long as that occurs, which we fully plan to do so unless something drastic happens, we will have one out this Saturday. Now, hopefully we get 2 done tonight, and if we do, then we'll have one Saturday and then the following Thursday. It won't be enough time for us to get the edit done by tomorrow's episode, and of course you want to make sure we give everyone enough time to do the edit. So that's what we're aiming for, and we will see how things go. Anyway, how's everyone doing today? Hope you're all doing well. Things are good, man. Things are good, all things considered. I've got a lot of comments to get back to. I will certainly be doing that today and or the rest of this week and weekend, I guess. Couple of the days this time it was me. I was out of pocket for a couple of days. Like I said, life sometimes gets in the way, and that was the case here. But the guys were having some trouble in the middle of the week, so I was the issue on the weekend. They were kind of some of the issue in the middle of the week. So, but we'll get there, right? It's not a big deal. We're not really too concerned about it. It extends the length of it a little bit, so not a big deal. How's everyone doing? I hope you're doing well, gang. I really do. Yeah, this field is in a perfect yield state, so we should be getting pretty much the best we could possibly get off of this. And as a matter of fact, all of our fields are in that same boat. So I guess we'll see what we get, right? We're getting about 121% right now in the current situation that we're in. So 8.4 per hectare. Pretty good. Pretty good. Our equipment is very, very dirty. Holy smokes, we need to get this power washed badly. We don't have a power washer, but we need to purchase one here soon, I suppose. But yeah, so we got this field to do. We've got 43 here, like I mentioned, to do, and then 32 way over here also. Those are all ready to harvest today. So a mixture of a lot of new stuff here. So we've got this one with spelt, which we know about, right? And there you go. That gives you a little bit more detail. And somebody was asking me to do this a few more times, give you a little bit more of the field info. So here we go. Basically, our expected yield is 122%. The yield potential is 125. So we're right around that mark. And then we've got field 43 here, which has our triticale in it, and 122 expected yield. And then we've got 32, which we are still getting the perfect yield out of, and it's 123 expected yield for our rye. So quite a few things here to go. I don't know how the chickens are doing as far as food goes. They are fine, not a big deal. So more than likely what we're going to focus on is getting this field done today. Obviously, we do have some hail damage we're going through right now. Getting this field done today, and then we'll potentially see about one of the other ones. We've got the straw we have to pick up and bale as well. I think realistically for me personally, I'm going to focus on trying to get this field completely done, I think, today. In other words, I want to get it harvested, I want to get the straw picked up, and then replow it. Mostly the reason why I want to do that is kind of the things we talked about kind of leading up to this point, right? We put that shed down over there, and then I kind of last minute, I guess, or during the middle of the process, made the decision that I wanted to kind of modify this field a little bit, and kind of extend it in a part of the area there by the shed, and then shrink it down a little bit here next to the track, and it'll make a little bit more sense here in a second when I explain it a little bit better. But basically, what I'm planning to do this field is imagine this track here, and you see how it turns and kind of comes in this way. I'm going to basically just take this track and make it run straight. So we're going to take away a small amount of this land here. Basically, I'm just going to try to keep the path that we're on right here and then run it straight down and continue it until about here and then connect it, right? So we're going to get a little bit more here. We'll lose a tiny bit right here in this section of the field. It's not going to be anything major. That's at least the initial goal there. The reason why I want to do that is it's going to allow us to expand this field and make it more of a squared off rectangular type of shape up top. Obviously down there I'm not really going to be able to do a whole lot there. But it will give us that opportunity to expand the field a bit there and then, you know, kind of make the track a little bit more unified going into the yard area. So we'll see, right? But that's kind of the vision that I have for that. Obviously, we don't really have a whole lot of money for more sheds right now, and realistically, you know, we're managing with the one shed we have. We're kind of squeezing things in there. Obviously, it would be nice to have some more, but the money is not quite there right now. But you know, hopefully soon enough that it will be, right? And then we can make sure we have, well, we will have, I guess, not even make sure, we will have, you know, the area all set up and ready to go for us to be able to put down the sheds and have things in a good spot, right? So that's the goal today, is to get this field completely done and then expand it a little bit as well. In the process that I was just talking about, we'll probably spend a little bit of money on you know, putting some texture down for the yard area. But yeah, that's what we're going for. That's what we're aiming for, I should say. Now I'm kind of I'm harvesting this a little close here. That it's not really giving the full length that I should be doing there. But we're going to touch that up here in just a second. We're just going to kind of clean this area here at the top, and then we'll do another kind of headland type of pass up here. They should let us, and then we'll kind of go around down there as well, you know, and continue that before we start doing our traditional up and down. Since I like to go, oh, I forgot we're almost full. Shoot! I think I just killed a little bit of crop there. Yeah, not much, but a little bit, enough to matter, I guess. So let's go grab our trailer here. Now, I do know we have some things that are in the silo. I think I just run into the other one too. Why not? Go ahead, Z. I think the beans are, is it July that they're best to sell? I think it is. So we probably need to look at those as well and figure out when it's best to sell those beans. It might be today. Maybe it's going up still, and then maybe we do it, you know, in the second episode here in July. As I mentioned, we're going to do 2 today. Well, not today. We're going to do 2 in July. While we're doing that, let's go and just take a look here. I think it's beans in July. It is, and they are dropping. So we probably need to sell those pretty much now. We don't have a ton of beans there, right? It's 1,000, but that's just extra stuff we got from a contract. So it's like the way I like to look at it is a little bit of extra income, a little bit of extra money. So I think what we'll do, once I get this unloaded and I do one more headland pass up here, I will throw it on a worker for a brief period. Allow the worker just to kind of work for us for a few seconds while we go and sell those beans. Need to figure out exactly where we're going to sell those beans. I don't really know the answer to that, but we'll look at that here in a second again. Okay, where I'm not going to turn on the GPS just yet because it's going to make me do some weird things right here, I think. It's not going to really understand what I want to do. So we'll turn it on up here. As a matter of fact, probably don't even really need to turn it on. Let's just see what it does. Okay, it does take us down a kind of a weird path here, which is what I was kind of thinking it was going to do. So we'll touch that up here too. Now, this is going to produce a lot of straw. Now, the straw, we don't really have anything to do with the straw at current. Eventually, we will. You know, eventually we're going to be utilizing it for our water buffalo because that is the animal we got, right? So, you know, that's going to be probably a little later on, though. We really don't have the resourcing that we need right now to be able to start putting the water buffalo down, although I'd like to put them down because they would be beneficial to us. It's not... I don't think it's the right time to put them down, if that makes sense yet. So we just need a little more time, and I kind of talked about, you know, buying the area down there and you know, working them in down there, but we need some money in the account right now. We don't have the money right now. All right, so let's put this on a worker here. Start them on the headland pass this way. They might go a different way, but I'm going to put them here. Yeah, they're probably going to go a different way. That's fine. Let them do whatever they want to do, I guess. All right, so we're going to dump this into the silo, and we'll pick the beans out of here, and we'll go and sell those beans. All right, the beans are going to be going to 1115. Yep, that's the best price right now. Preserved Food Factory. I don't think we've been there yet. Where is that on the map? All the way up here. Okay, so this is an area where we're going to be buying the oil mill, right? Part of one of the rules is, you know, whatever crop you got, which for us, we got poppy. We have to buy whatever the mill is that's standard on the map and take that crop and put it into... Okay, did I not? I guess not. Thought I put it in here, but I guess I didn't. I guess I was still waiting on it to unload. Give me a second and we'll finish that thought. Give me just a second here. Okay. So, you know, you get a randomized crop. For us, we got poppy. So we've got to buy so many fields that have, you know, poppy, that had poppy in it at the very beginning. We've got to, you know, seed those fields with poppy at least once and harvest them at least once. But any harvest we do with poppy, unless, of course, it's a contract, I've kind of allowed that one to occur. But anything that has poppy that you have, if you bought the field and it has poppy in it and you harvest it, you're not allowed to just go and sell that poppy outright. You've got to go and take it and turn it into some kind of a byproduct, but you have to utilize whatever's on the map. It's not something you can just place down an oil mill in your yard area and that's that. Nope, you've got to buy the one that is on the map and go about it that way. So it's just another little complexity that we add to the series a bit there, right? To make it a little bit more fun. Any other crop you harvest, no big deal. Sell it whenever you want. Obviously, we're going to sell the beans right now. But whatever randomized crop you got, that is there's a limitation on that crop that you have to put it into a byproduct, and it has to be done on whatever factory production, whatever is on the map, not one that you place down yourself. So this is going to be anything crazy, gang. We're not making tons of money off of this, but you know what? Like I said, this is from a contract, and we were able to capture or keep this amount. Well, there's a dump truck. Nice. A buyer in the dump truck? Oof. I don't like that. Anyway. Ooh, Zelonka, huh? Huh. Or Zelonic. Is it Zelonka? Or is it Zelonka or Zelonic? Zelonic. Oh. I thought it said Zelonka at first. Interesting. Okay. All right. Yeah, this is new back in here. We haven't not been back in here at all, really. All right, that basically paid for our interest and for the fees that we incur overnight. It's about $1,000. It's a little slightly more than that. So we paid that off, I guess, from June to July there with that sale of the beans. So that was nice, right? But like I said, it's not going to make us rich or anything like that. But if we're able to capture some of that extra income from some contracts that we do during some, you know, periods of time where we're in in our instance, I guess, a bit of an off season because we don't have anything to do. it's a good thing to do it. And that kind of proves it right there, right? That gives us basically a free month without we didn't have to pay for any of the interest there, and we didn't have to pay for, you know, any of the maintenance costs, right? So, totally worth it. AI worker Sylwek. Okay. I don't know how you pronounce that name. Sylwek? I don't know how you would pronounce that name. I have no idea. I like that they actually have names, though, in this map. That's kind of cool. Now, this field itself has tram lines in it. It's unfortunate. Remember, we bought that field. We had to do a couple minor things to it to get it into the state it's in, but we bought that field. So it already had tram lines put in it. I would never put tram lines in. Personally, for me, I would just make sure I get everything done so I don't have to do that. Or at least I attempt to get everything done so I don't have to do that, I guess I should say. So we're not going to get as large of a yield out of that because we do have those tram lines. I don't know what this worker is doing here. I have no idea what's happening. We're just driving right through our field. I'm sure they're coming down here to do work on the headland again. Probably a piece I missed or something, like a tiny little piece. But I can't really stop the worker right now. It's not really a good spot to stop him in. Yeah, he thinks I missed something right here. I don't know what I would have missed here. I don't see anything here at all, but I guess, all right, we'll go down it. There's nothing that came into the harvester here, so I don't know what that was all about. I'm going to get up here to the top, though. We're going to get started here on our more traditional up and downs here. Come on, get out of first gear. I know we're going up a hill, I know. And that's the problem with this harvester, too. I guess harvester is great. I'm glad that it's here. I'm glad it exists, because if it didn't, we couldn't do a lot of the different challenges and things that we like to do. But it is slow. It is a very slow piece of machinery, and it makes our... makes our life a lot more difficult, let's put it that way, in regard to getting things done in a quick manner. Not that everything needs to be done in a quick manner, but when you've got a lot to do, like we do today. There we go. Finally got out of first gear. You know, I think it makes a lot of sense for us to have something a little bit quicker, but we're going to be a while before we get to that point. Obviously, we only have $28,000 in the bank account, so we're going to be a while. Now, I do know there are some potential options, I guess, that we could consider here soon. Harvesters that I've used many times, just like this one, many times before. That could help us. I'm trying not to utilize the same stuff as much as I can help it. Having said that, the harvester we're utilizing is the one we've used probably more than anything else. But we do have some of these here that I've talked about. We've used them in the past. I guess a bit of a spoiler if you haven't watched yesterday's episode, but I... did upgrade the harvester that we had on that series, which is the Can You Survive 25 series. So technically, according to my own personalized rules, which have no rhyme or reason, I'm allowed to use these now because I'm not using these in a series. But I would suspect the odds are we're going to be utilizing that in our island preservation sometime in the near future, right? Probably not for a while, but in the near future. So we'll think about it, but obviously, the money is not really right there right now anyway. It is almost there for the one. We almost have enough to buy the harvester. We don't have enough to buy the header. If we sold our harvester and header there, would we have enough? Probably. But I think we hold off a little bit longer. Because we're managing with this harvester. It's a little slow, like I said, but we're managing it, right? So I think we hold off just a little bit more and kind of go from there, right? So, we've got a lot to do. A lot to do. This field is going to take us a significant period of time. It is the biggest field we have, by far. And we've literally just now started on doing our traditional up and downs. So, lots to do, lots to get done. We're going to work on it. And yeah, let's get to work. All right, well, we're cruising along here nicely, gang. Still a bit of ways to go, but we are moving nicely. Soon enough, we will be beginning the baling. That's going to take us a while as well, as a matter of fact. I think what we're going to do here in just a moment is I'm going to flip tractors a bit here. I'll utilize the John Deere for the trailer, and then put a worker on with the JCB starting, well, I say worker, I can't really put a worker on, can I? I guess I'll put a worker on the harvester, and we'll start doing the JCB, we'll hook the JCB up to the baler and start doing the baling, I guess is what I should say. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. We'll use a worker to help us out here a bit because that was a pretty long time lapse we just did there. So we need to get started on the straw here. If I want to do this entire field today, we need to get started. And when I say do the entire field, it's what I meant at the beginning, which is baling it all up and plowing it up and getting it prepped and ready to go, right? Now, there's not anything I don't think that we want to put in today. At least I don't think there is. Covered crop, poplar, silage maize. Yeah, there's not really anything. Whoop. There's not really anything for us to be able to, you know, put in the ground today. But if we get it all prepped and ready to go, then you know, we'll be good for when there is time for us to be able to put something in the ground. Now, there's a chance we might not get all of it done, and that's fine. If we don't, it is what it is. All right, let me get the John Deere down here. Now, the John Deere is going to be a little slow pulling that trailer, of course, when it's full. But that's okay. That's the main reason why we ended up purchasing this trailer, this tractor exactly, is for, you know, a little bit of worker use whenever we need it, or in the instance like this, where the worker's doing one thing for us already, we can use this to help maneuver some things around, even if it's going to be a little slow. But like we talked about, right? We bought it on the used market, so it was very inexpensive. And whenever the time comes to make an upgrade to it, we're not really going to lose a whole lot of money. I think it's going to serve its purpose a lot more for the price we paid for it versus not buying it, right? So let's get this unfolded. We almost have a full flax straw bale here. And actually, speaking of that, I did see a comment somebody put about the flax straw. Evidently, there is a use for it, which I didn't realize. On this map specifically. I gotta be careful up here. I don't want to run into our other crop there and kill any of it. Alright, we're underway with the straw. Now, the nice thing about the straw baling here with the square bales is we don't really have to stop, right? You know, with the round bales, we would have to stop every, you know, so far, I guess I should say, every so far, and, you know, allow the round bale to be unloaded. But with the square bales, we just kind of keep on driving, so it definitely is a time saver. I think personally, I've said this before, I know I have, I like the round bales better, just the way that they look, I like them better. But from a strategic time-saving standpoint alone, the square bales are 100% the way to go. And one thing we could potentially do here soon, I've talked about it, but, you know, for the time being, I've kept it. But, you know, we can... you know, get rid of the front loader and that attachment, since we kind of jumped into doing auto loading a little bit sooner than I normally anticipated. So we do have that option if we need a little bit of extra money for something that pops up, maybe in the used market or whatever it may be, right? Now, we also want to do 3 contracts in July as well, right? So we've got this field we want to take care of. We've got the 2 other fields we need to harvest, both of which are also going to produce straw. So we're going to have a lot of straw to deal with here. There may even be a chance we might end up doing 3 episodes here in July. And, you know, that's okay. It is what it is, because we definitely want to try to get those contracts if we can help it. because right now we could use some money, right? There is a couple of contracts here that are pretty decent. Fertilizing, there's another harvesting contract, but that's not what we have. Deadwood, baling, the Deadwood one's super easy. We'll probably do that. It's a quick little bit of money. The baling one, we're already doing baling right now, so I don't want to do that one today, but maybe that's still out there in the next episode or a following episode, potentially. We'll see. Some of these, when we've got a lot to do in the month, it probably makes a lot of sense, even if it's not, you know, even if there's one out there that's worth a lot more money, it might make more sense for us to, you know, consider doing something where we're not going to make as much money that is quicker, if we're running out of time, of course. And there's always the instance where we don't necessarily have to do those contracts. I think from a strategic standpoint, you definitely want to get them done, and that's what I was mentioning, but you don't necessarily have to, right? It is almost 11 o'clock. We got a little bit of a later start today than we normally would want to. We normally would start at 8 a.m., but we started at 9 today. So there's a chance we might run out of time, right? There's a chance. So that's why I'm saying we're probably going to utilize the worker a little bit more here in July than we have leading up to this point. Even this JCB struggles a little bit going up that hill with this baler, right? You saw how slow we kind of grinded down to a halt there. All right, we got a lot to do. Let's get back into it. I always end up putting eating my own words here a little bit, don't I? I always think we're going to have plenty of time to get stuff done, and then we start to run out of time quickly, but that's okay. I ended up starting the worker on harvesting that field over there because of those reasons, right? It's taken us longer than I anticipated. We aren't even done with the straw yet. I would say we're probably halfway with the straw, maybe slightly more than halfway done with the straw, but still a lot to go. So because of that reason, I just changed plans on the fly there and put the worker on starting harvesting that field over there. We will not get that field done today. I can tell you that right now. It's not going to happen. But getting the worker started on working on that field is certainly going to help us for the next episode and even potentially the third episode if we have to do a third episode here in July. I don't specifically want to do a third episode in July if I can help it, but it's looking a lot likely that that's going to occur, and I guess I really just timed these crops wrong because we have so many fields to do, at the same time, right? So, but it is what it is, right? I've wanted to do, and I've said it for a while, I've wanted to do more of the crops that are unique to this map. In other words, crops that aren't included in the base game, right? And so some of them just happen to be all finishing around the same period of time, but that's okay. Okay, the worker missed a little bit right there for whatever reason. That's fine. We'll fix it later. That's fine. Now I know we're losing a significant chunk of money by utilizing a worker here, but in the long run, it's going to work out for us, right? We'll lose a couple $100 here and there, and that's fine. It's going to help us out in the long run, though, because there's just no way I can do all of this by myself, right? So, not with our current situation of money and our current equipment. Certainly cannot. All right, put it back on our worker here. All right, to do the thing, we'll go back over here to baling. So we've got, let's see, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 strips left. Well, I guess 9 counting the one we're doing. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 9 strips, but some of these over here are a little bit smaller, right? So shouldn't take us long, I guess. Now, we're likely going to hold on to the straw like we did before and kind of sell it when it's best to sell. I mean, we made a decent amount of money off the straw. We are playing on hard difficulty, right? So, the amount of money we're making off a lot of this stuff, it's not much, but it's something extra. And that's what we need, right? We just need all the money we can get right now. How many bales do we have right now? 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, I can look in the menu and look at it, but I'm just going to count them manually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Is that right? 14? Or did I count those two? I think I counted those two. So 12. But realistically, we do have 14 if you count the ones that are in here that just haven't popped out yet. It's a lot of bales. I guess I should know that because, we've already taken straw off this field, so it should be a very similar amount of straw we're going to get. And we had a lot of bales, right? We had a lot of bales, so I think for turning, that makes the most sense there. Really for both pieces of equipment here. Turning them off just so you can get going to a little bit of a faster pace when you turn. The turning just seems to be really slow for both this and for the harvester. So, seems to be the best tactic, really. So I'm not going to do another time lapse. We did 2 really, really long time lapses there, but I'm going to work on this a little bit more, and I will be back with you when we're close to being done. All right, we're on the final strip here for the main field, so nearly done. Lots and lots of bales. So we're going to pick all these bales up. We're going to utilize the autoloader. I'm just going to make it a little bit easier on ourselves, especially with how long the episode is already at. We have really surpassed the time when I would really ideally like to stop the episode. But I wanted to get this field done, as I mentioned, with the straw at a bare minimum. I would have loved to get it plowed up. We're just not going to have the time to do that, unfortunately. But that's okay. We've got more episodes we can do in July, right? There's no restriction on this one, at least, for me personally, to only have 1 episode per month. Worker's going strong down there. I did have to unload the worker once again. But yeah, we're cruising, man. We are cruising. All right, I'm going to unload these actually in the field, since we're going to utilize the auto load trailer. So let's fold this up for the time being. Obviously, we're going to be using this next episode as well, because we're going to have to do that field and the other field down the distance that we showed you earlier. Now, those fields aren't nearly as big as this field, right? But if you combine them together, they're pretty close to the size of this field. So it's a good thing we got that worker started on harvesting that, because that'll save us in the long run for sure. So I'm not going to put this away, since we're actually not going to be jumping from, from the July month here. We'll just be going straight into another episode once we're done with this one. So we'll just drop it right there for the time being. We'll also take a look and see exactly how much we got out of that harvest, because I didn't really show you that. 22,425 liters of spelt. Not bad. I think there might have been a tiny bit of spelt still in the silo. It was like 200 liters, maybe. I might be wrong on that, though. I might be thinking of something else. Maybe there's the mustard. I don't know. But anyway, still, that's a good amount, man. That's a good amount. When it comes time to sell that, that'll be a nice payday. It'll be a nice payday. All right, let's get these bales up. Worker almost has a full tank yet again. Now, we are going to have to probably do 2 trips here. This trailer is great, but it doesn't really hold that many square bales. Having said that, I don't know. Maybe we will get them all on here. I think we're going to miss by a couple, though. Now, ideally, I'd have somewhere to put this straw so it's not out in the weather, but I don't. So for the time being, like we did last time, it is likely just going to hang out outside in the elements. Worker has almost completed the headland pass here on this field, so that's a good thing, right? That's a good chunk done for us on here. There's only going to be, I don't know, what is that? 5, maybe 6 passes. Oh, I just drove right over that, but I didn't kill it somehow. That's a miracle. I have crop destruction on, so it must have been exactly right in the middle of the John Deere and the trailer there. I didn't plan that at all. Well, to be fair, that's not really that. If I did kill that, it's not really that much we're losing there. It's probably only a couple liters. And like as I mentioned earlier, right? It's a struggle for this John Deere when it's got a lot in here. It is a struggle to get up the hills, but it works, right? It works. So if we didn't have this, I'd have to unhook that JCB, come over here, hook it up to the trailer, move it over here, or I guess I would have to take over for the worker and move the harvester, right? But this is just a little bit of a convenience factor for us having that, that John Deere to help us with some smaller type of jobs or jobs like that it can do, moving some stuff around, right? Come on. Come on, JCB. Get up the hill. I think we're actually going to get them all on here. We are going to get them all on here. Oh. I stand corrected. For some reason, when we... Well, it was probably it was probably the other field we had too, right? I didn't think about that. But I was going to say, for some reason, when we went and sold these before, because we used the auto load when we went and sold them, I thought we had a full trailer load, but maybe we didn't. Maybe we didn't. I don't know. Where are we going to put these at? So before we had them just kind of out here in the middle of the open. Now that we've got a few more kind of things spread around here, you know, I kind of like nestling them up here to the back of the chicken coop, but I think that tree might be in the way. Let's see. No, I think it'll fit. I think they'll fit in there. Okay, let's attempt this. And just try to nestle them. That's as far as it'll let me go over at this point. So I know this is going to look a little unrealistic, as it is. But we're going to try to nestle it up a little bit closer here. You pass that line. Yeah, just a little bit more, though. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. That's a whole lot of bales, man. And we're going to get a lot more here coming very, very soon. But we are going to leave the episode at this point. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, I would greatly appreciate it if you smash the like and subscribe button on the case you've yet to do so. They are free to do. They help me out an absolute ton. I want to thank my members for all their continued support. If you do want early access to videos like this one, there is a link down below for you. Starts as little as $4.99 per month. You also get a member series that occurs once a month, where we go through different ideas that are in my brain, or we'll just do a members series that I have that'll be running continuously whenever we're not in a stage where we need to be playing in a new series. But whenever we do plan a new series, that's what we normally do, is we come up with whatever the idea was that I had in my head. I present it to you, get your feedback, try to incorporate any feedback you may have. And see if it makes sense for a series or not. Not always. They don't always make sense for a series, I will tell you that. But, we at least run some tests and test it out together during that series. So, another one of the perks you get, but we're working on some other things as well coming up here soon. I'm working on a store. Not that you have to buy anything or like that, but I'm working on a store to make some different t-shirts and some posters and things like that. But I don't know when that's going to come out yet. This is early on in that process, but I am working on it nonetheless. Hopefully, by summer's end, we'll have some kind of an update there, if not sooner. But no guarantee on that yet. Just kind of putting that out there as a bit of a teaser. That is something I am working on, time permitting, which obviously I don't have a whole lot of time right now, but hopefully soon. All right, we'll leave it there. Thanks so much for watching, gang. Thanks for your support, as always. I'll see you next time.